Mr. G here. Before we get into our study of U.S. history, we have to lay one more foundation. In the last video, we talked about the question of when it makes sense to hold Americans responsible as Americans for human evils like racism and sexism. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between facts and interpretation. When you study any kind of history, whether it's a history that happened 300 years ago or something that happened yesterday, you have got to be able to ascertain when you are being given facts and when you are being fed an interpretation of those facts. You see, facts are hard to come by in history. They exist, but it's just hard to find them. You can see how this would be a problem if, when you study history, you only study the interpretations. If your understanding of history depends on submitting to someone else's interpretation of facts, then you are making yourself an intellectual slave to them. You see, facts are like puzzle pieces, not like normal cardboard puzzle pieces, but more like puzzle pieces made out of silly putty, pieces that can be morphed and jammed into places that they don't belong. Every puzzle has a picture, right, that the pieces fit into perfectly to create. We'll call that picture truth. But the problem is that facts can be manipulated into making almost any picture that someone wants you to see. Like puzzle pieces that are jammed into the wrong places, forcing incorrect connections, juxtaposing disparate ideas and creating an inaccurate picture of truth, which of course is not truth at all. You know those photo mosaics that are made from lots of different little pictures? Well, this is a picture of Mr. G's gram-gram. But as you can see, this truth of my gram-gram is made up of vicious dogs. From a distance that I will refer to as ignorance, you see what I want you to see. But if you look closer, you see that this truth is completely fraudulent. I could just as easily make you see something else using the exact same pieces. This is what the news media and politicians do to us every single day. I'm not saying that it's always malicious on their part, but it is what they do. They take events, ideas, quotes, data, statistics, and they manipulate those facts, and they are facts, and they manipulate them into a picture that they want you to see. Maybe their picture is an accurate representation of the facts, but maybe it isn't. How would you know? Well, you wouldn't. That's the problem. If you never look closer at the pieces that make up the truth that they are telling you to believe, then you are their intellectual slave. Sorry, you are a puppet. Again, even if they create an accurate and unbiased interpretation of facts, which is great, and sometimes they do that, but even when they do, you're still their puppet because you don't know if their interpretation is accurate or not. You just know that they told you it was. In the next video, I'm going to give you an example of how this is being done to us today and how you can combat those who twist facts into their own willful, deceptive interpretation. So follow and subscribe to be notified when it drops. This is a 3-parter, so buckle up.